Hi, everybody. It's Mark Sellers, author of Blind Spots, and this is tip number 2 in my series related to the Elf movie starring Will Ferrell. So, this is for all you leaders, all you coaches out there, whether you have direct reports or people that you are matrix managing. This tip is for you. In the first Elf video tip that I sent, recall the movie Elf starring Will Ferrell, Buddy the Elf. He walks all the way from the North Pole to see his father, meet his father, James Caan, and his character for the first time. When he meets him, James Caan basically denies the whole thing at first, says this is impossible, this is crazy. And that's really one of the first things I mentioned in that first tip. It's one of the first things that we do with our blind spots. We deny them. Well, once James Caan's character realized, okay, this really did happen, Buddy was able to show some proof, then he had to come to the next realization, the next big hurdle, and that is fighting for his vices, overcoming the urge to fight for his vices. What's a vice? Well, remember, no, it's not that thing in the workshop where you put a piece of board in so you can saw it or whatever it is. Not that kind of a vice. The vice in the virtue. Remember that vices come within your virtues. So your virtues are the things that you're doing so well, the traits, the characteristics, and then, wow, big blind spot, you don't realize that within those wonderful traits that serve you well, a lot of times are also vices that do not serve you well. So a vice could be anything like, your discipline. Too much discipline, you're not asking for help. You're too independent. Great as a solo player, great virtue. Well, the vice is probably you struggle to be a team player. You're excellent at sacrificing, virtue. Well, that probably works against you when you need to stop sacrificing things like your family or your community or other things. The vice in the virtue. We all have them. So what James Caan's character had as vices were found in his virtues of working really long and hard hours, successful executive in the children's book publishing industry, status, recognition in that industry, achievement, money, title, everything. Lots of wonderful things to be proud of for sure, but within those, if you fight too hard, then they can become your vices if you don't realize when those things are really taking control of your life, being driven mostly by your ego. So James Caan did not want to give up all of those things that he was fighting so hard for, fighting for the title, fighting for the continued recognition, fighting for the status as a well-known, well-regarded executive in this industry, and on and on. And I mean, even at the expense of a son, as crazy as a son was being an elf in Will Ferrell. So, but we will do these things. We will fight like heck for these vices, and they will eventually, I promise you, they will eventually take you down. I know for me, it was those things, fighting for growing a business and the success of being an author and speaking around the world and doing training around the world, and how cool that was and how my head just really got big and swelled up. I fought for those things because I decided those things were really, really important to me, at the expense of getting more involved in my community, being more present with my family, and a lot of other things. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about, again, your virtues. Look for your vices in your virtues, because that's where you will find them. And when you expose those virtues for what they are, ask yourself a very difficult but important question. Why do I fight so hard for these vices? Why are these things so important to me? Whatever they might be, the status, the recognition, the money, the title, etc. Why are these things so important to me? What would my life really be like if I didn't have some of these things? Would my life really, really crumble and be devastated? Or could I possibly be freed from all of the prison of the vices and the things that I'm fighting for? Give that a shot. It's not going to be easy, but that is a great next step for you in your blind spots journey. So leaders, coaches, I hope you found this tip helpful. I'm with you there on your blind spots journey. Let me know. Call me, 614-571-8267. Email me, mark@breakthrough-sales.com. Great success to you, and as always, be well and be safe.